Work for these teams to do. The Molynes camp, well, they'll be eager for a win, and their assistant coach, Jermaine Miller, had these words to say.
Coach, one win in the last 3 games. It must be a disappointed feeling as you try to get 3 points to go up the ladder.
Yes, it is a disappointing feeling to have only gotten 1 win from the last 3 games, but it's work in progress, and we are looking forward to this game to get another 3 points.
RD has been a player that has come to the fore. He has been scoring, but Jason Wright still yet not find his foothold in the league this season. What has contributed to that?
We have been working to get him in goal scoring positions. Yeah, we have been creating chances. However, I think it's a lack of confidence, but we have worked on him in terms of getting his confidence level up, and I think we may see a goal or 2 today.
If you get 3 points today, you move up the ladder. Some safe space between the drop zone. How confident are you that it is possible for today's game?
A win in every game is possible. This game, just like any other game, will come out and it's about putting our foot forward, play our game, try to score a goal and try to nullify the opponents.
Yeah, lots of work for Molynes to do, eager for points here. And O'Dane Samuels is their player to watch, making the move from Dumble Holding. O'Dane Samuels has also played for Arnett Gardens as well, the central defender. And he'll be looking to do some good work. Scored his first 2 goals ever in his senior career last season in the Link Cup. And he'll be there hoping to improve their defensive record, Molynes, who they have let in quite a few goals so far this season. And he'll be looking to do a better job at that. He comes in the transfer window. Well, he'll come up against tough opposition, Humble Lion, who are further up in the table than him, and Vassal Reynolds at the helm. I wonder what he had to say to Daniel Bent.
You would have said off here that it is a new slate, unbeaten in the last 2 games. How do you look at that going forward?
During this rebuilding phase over the past 3-4 weeks, we would have looked at the second round as the beginning of our season, really. And one of the things that we said to ourselves that we want to go on a good run, 4 or 5 games, especially keeping a clean sheet. So we have been working on our defensive shape. We would have played over 200 minutes now without conceding, so that's a plus for us. Hopefully, that is enough moral booster going forward.
You made mention of new blood, adding a lot of young talents, including Clear Card from Garvey Maceo. How integral is these young players towards your push for a playoff spot?
Very integral, and we'd have asked. So it's really a mixture of youth and experience now we're looking forward to over the past 2 weeks. The integration has been going quite well. We have asked and emphasized the senior players to work and monitor these players. The last game, the average age on the field of play was under 21. So that's good for us, and not just new to the Premier League, but we'll get some excitement, some different sort of performance from these youngsters, and hopefully they will learn early enough, and so that can carry right through to the season.
I was looking to his senior players to do the job, and Afiba Chambers is one of them. 33 years of age, over 180 appearances in Jamaica Premier League, has actually scored 19 goals at this level, but a defender. Played for Reno initially in his Premier League career back in 2014, spent about 4 seasons there, and has been at Humble Lion since 2018, so knows his club inside out. Afiba Chambers has worn the captain's armband as well, and he will be a big deal for Vassal Reynolds as they look to make strides from their 10th place position at the moment up into the playoff spots, hopefully, which is the top 6. Well, we take our first break here. When we come back, we'll have walkout starting lineups and Premier League action.
strength, stamina, and performance. Black Stallion, the bedroom tonic. Available island-wide. Get a bottle today.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one bar, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Nephew overproof from what just a do it to the culture.
Years are older to drink responsibly.
Turn your passion into winnings with JustBet. Watch your favorite international leagues and tournaments and get in the game with JustBet. We have the best odds on over 100 sports: football, basketball, boxing, rugby, motorsports, even virtual matches. Register on the JustBet mobile platform, mobile.justbetja.com, or visit one of our over 100 JustBet locations island-wide. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and win big with JustBet.
The Stadium East Field is what you're looking at on the grounds of the National Stadium here in Kingston and St Andrew, Jamaica, the capital parish. And it's match week 16, Molynes United against Humble Lion in this Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League. Nice, cool conditions here at the ground, and this is their recent head-to-head 1-1 earlier this season, and actually the first draw in their history, which apart from this you've seen where they're basically shared results on most seasons with each getting a win. This was their first draw this season, that 1-1 scoreline, and it's always been a close encounter. Humble Lion leading the head-to-head 4-3 in terms of wins, but it will not be an easy proposition for any of the teams today. My name is Chris Taylor. I'm here with Dwight Jeremiah. And Dwight, both teams need 3 points, want to get themselves away from the relegation zone. Who comes into this game more confident?
You get the feeling that Molynes, they came off a bad loss against Arnett Gardens in their last game, but over the last 5 fixtures they've gotten more points than Humble Lion, so a bit more consistent. So you want to feel that they're on a decent run, although they had a little blip. Humble Lion, they've yet to concede a goal in over 200 and odd minutes recently, so that's a good platform. So both of them have good things to look forward to, and for different reasons want the win. For Molynes to get away from the drop zone, for Humble Lion to make a push for the top 6.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Molynes just 2 wins from their 15 games, and they have had some 5 draws and 8 defeats, scoring just 12 goals along the way and conceding 26. So hence you see the changes. Sean Dua, Anodane Samuels coming into those centre-back rows, both coming from the likes of Dumble Holden when they were a successful unit 2 seasons ago and went all the way to the final. So Molynes realizing that they're just leaking too many goals and looking to make that adjustment as well to give them that form of solidity. 26, just too many goals conceded at this time in the season.
Yeah, for sure, and they did concede a lot in their last game.
Andre Farquharson will be the man with the whistle, and he has experienced assistants: Nicholas Anderson, Gavin Carvalho and Carvel Banton, his 4th official.
Well, yeah, they travelled with me, I guess, from Trelawney. Not really with me in my car, but yeah, we were both on the toll road together. So, yeah, a long way up here, but good officials, as you say.
Yeah, they're the captains as well, going through the formalities. Andrew Vanzi, the captain of Humble Lion, been the captain for quite some time. When he was out, actually, Same Afiba Chambers, our player to watch, had the captain's armband. This is how Molynes will set up. And they'll be playing generally a 4-4-2, which is what they like to play. Peter Harrison in the goal, Sergina Frankson, who has been steady at the back for them. Enrique Gordon, the interesting and expressive wide player. Ramoria McPherson, Tyreek Wilson, Sean Dua, a new face. Jeremy Nelson is back from suspension as well. He'll need to find himself staying on the park. Javon Brown, always good in the midfield. Devon Davis, a young addition from McGrath High. Dane Samuels, a player to watch. And of course, Jason Wright, their most potent of goal scorers, Dwight.
Yeah, they're playing a 4-4-2 formation, but I'm looking to see how Davis transitioned from schoolboy to the Premier League. He was really hot in schoolboy football, scored one of the goals of the season as well, so it's good to see. And you know, his coach know him well because he's the coach of McGrath as well, and these youngsters will look to do well. And the new additions of Dwar and Samuels, we look to see how they really bring some quality to this Molynes team that really needs to get away from that drop zone.
Yeah, of course, Jermaine Thomas, the head coach at McGrath, taking the reins here, so we'll know Davis very well, and he's really desperately trying to find a partner for Jason Wright. Humble Lion, this is how they'll shape up. They'll be playing with a 3-5-2. Briscoe between the sticks for them. Pasco Christie, Malik Robinson, Henry Scott, Kareem Bryan, who scored in that 1-all fixture last time out, did Kareem Bryan. Andrew Vanzi, the ever-present captain. Look out for him on the dead ball as well. Afiba Chambers, our player to watch. Everell Swaby, James Thomas, and Rashane Sharp, who has so much quality there, number 7.
Yeah, and they're playing a 3-5-2 formation. Not surprising for Vassal Reynolds' team because he likes structure, organization. He said that's what he worked on coming into this game. So at times it will look like 5 at the back. He'll look to plug those off spaces. They haven't conceded in over 200 and odd minutes. He'd look to continue that, but look to nick one on the counter. That's the hallmark of Vassal Reynolds' team.
Yeah, Vassal Reynolds just managing one window in his last 5 games, so that will be a concern for this Humble Lion team, that they're not really executing those wins consistently, and that one win was against Treasure Beach, the 1-0.
Yeah, there are better results to have come that way, so
but
yeah.
it's better to, as you said,
but you only have to play
a
who is in front of you, and that's what they got. So let's see how they match up here, and probably would have been good for him getting those type of games early in his stint here, and that would have helped a lot. But in his last 2 games, you know, haven't conceded, and he's looking to continue that trend. Wasn't pleased still with what he was getting, and so worked on that shape all week.
So one area of the part then that you would say that he's more or less rectified, Vassal Reynolds. Always been a strong defensive coach and a very organized coach, Vassal Reynolds, and Humble Lion were conceding quite a bit of goals initially. So you would say, from his standpoint, he would say, well, look, we've organized the back now we need to concentrate on scoring goals and getting those 3 points.
Yeah, and it's
versus some Lions who have problems at both ends of the park.
Yeah, for sure, and it's not for Vassal Reynolds, not just the back line, it's the whole organization of the team which will help protect that back line, which he's good at. It's not the prettiest of football to watch, many will say, but for Humble Lion, the state they're in, they just want to get points on the board, you feel, and I guess after that, you know how the fans are, they get a little bit gullible and they want more after you solidify them. So
Humble Lion, yeah, they have a free kick, a win and a draw in their last 2, and those were the clean sheets that you mentioned, Dwight. That 1-0 win over Treasure Beach, and then, as I said, 0-0 against Dumble Holding as they drive forward now into the area, and well, that was dangerous for a moment, but Peter Harrison had it covered.
Yeah, looking to be the aggressor early, but quickly you'll see them get into that shape, and we can look to see what they're like without the ball. He says the formation is a 3-5-2, but what's interesting for us to see is what they look like in attack and what they look like in defense, which a lot of times it's totally different from the formation that they say they're playing. And
yeah, no surprise when you're playing
back. Well, he has 4 now, Humble Lion at the back. Well, 5, you can see the curve around, so 2 wing backs have dropped in.
And that's no surprise when you're playing a 3-5-2. The expectation is that when you're defending, that, the two wide players will get back and make a 5 at the back. Well, all 5 will have to be back now because Nelson inside the area.
It's a good attempt, you know, from Nelson. He's looking to go across goal. Almost picked out his target.
Have done some good business, Molynes will say, in the transfer market. There was a shot earlier of Peter Higgins, their president and chairman.
Yeah, that man that just got the ball and got dispossessed, Jason Wright, just hasn't fired this season. I think you can correct me, Chris. Could be just 2 goals so far, or just a single goal. It's gone 5. But hasn't really fired from open play. His last goal was from the penalty spot.
Yeah, and did score in a 1-all draw here.
I know there are interests for him from other clubs.
no surprise, because he scored 14 last season and had 2 assists to go with that. Jason
but
Wright.
Little Birdie told me that the president that you said you saw earlier said all these players that got them into this position will have to stay in and dig them out of it.
Well, there is his head coach now, Jermaine Thomas.
One in front, one behind.
Very busy in terms of coaching jobs with McGrath, as well as here in the Premier League. Does coach help with other high schools? So his quality is certainly been travelling in the airways.
He's no stranger to having 3 coaching jobs at once.
Ball into the area, and that was a difficult one to deal with. Pushed out by Briscoe. Molynes again heading for the back post. I wanted to go over the top.
And you know what, this makes for an interesting game too, and a game that I think we could see some good attacking player, goal mount activity we saw from both teams, because both these teams will come in and look at the table and think, okay, this is a team I should get 3 points from, you know. So there we see Vassal Reynolds, as I said, the man who likes to organise his team, works a lot on shape. He's a skittle for being very detailed in where you should be when the ball is at, and a lot of times it's with the defensive work. Even when he's in the national setup, a lot of times you'll hear in his interview that he's responsible for working on the defensive side of the teams that he's working with.
Yeah, his second time here at Humberline, actually responsible for some of the best times Humberline has had under his reign. They did get as far as 4th in the Premier League, and has had a really good period, a 3-4 year period where one of those years they actually finished on top in terms of at the end of the preliminary round. Didn't go on to win after the playoffs.
Was he in charge at that time, or was it?
No, he wasn't in charge at that time.
Because it was Dookie.
Yeah, Donovan Dookie.
Yeah.
But in his time at the club, they did have an impressive 4th place finish, and really look good. But it was in an era where Humberline were producing results year after year, but just couldn't lift the trophy.
In fact, though, I mean, point to his downside in the Premier League, where he was, they say, had the dubious record of having 2 clubs going down in one season that he had worked with, which was Reno and Montego Bay United. That's the detractors who will put that forward, but you can't deny his quality, even at schoolboy football, winning the knockout competition with Wolmer's and the Costa Cup with Rossies High. So, and the experience at the national level. So, good experience for Humberland to have Vassal Reynolds on the bench.
Yeah, was at Kingston College this season. They went as far as the semi-finals, and probably a lot further than many would have expected at the start of the season, including yourself and myself as well. I didn't see KC get into the semi-finals in the Manning Cup based on what they had on paper.
On paper, but
he
I've had some conversation with him in the background, and he said, you know, just he thinks he could just sneak under the radar, which he did. He got knocked out on penalties. Yeah.
Clear Clark, another success story out of the schoolboy football, sitting on the bench. Of course, scoring 20 goals for Garvey Maceo this season. That
probably comes from his relationship with Merron Gordon as well, because Clear comes from Garvey Maceo, which Merron Gordon is in charge of. So, yeah, good to see, but not that is the, sorry, that header going over from Humberland, but not that it's on that merit that he got in, but his quality is there, Cleo. Didn't fire as much as this season in the Costa Cup as many would have expected him to.
This was your player to watch as well.
Yeah.
Dwight, 19 goals, as you say, in his Premier League career, looked to make it 20
and a lot of them
there.
probably comes from those set plays.
Yeah. Just over the top. Molynes now looking to get forward, and they'll probably earn a corner for themselves. Yeah. Tariq Wilson, the number 20, will be looking to take this. This would make it their 3rd corner already, Molynes.
Yeah.
There is Peter Higgins, their chairman or president.
Yeah, he's the one who's firm to say these players didn't give as much as they should, so they're going to stay with the club and dig them out of it. So despite interest coming, not releasing.
Yeah, vice president at the National Commercial Bank as well, so knows a lot of about the financial world and what it takes from a money perspective for sure.
And not averse to taking tough decisions as well.
No, sport generally does play a little bit of tennis as well as Peter Higgins.
I guess you play that sport as well, so you're fortunate you'll come across him from time to time.
From time to time. He would probably tell you you'd like to come across more. Oh, nice ball into the air, and it's into the back of the net. Wow, what a start for Molynes. Sergini Frankson with a powerful head at the near post, and Molynes draw first blood from the corner yet again. It was their fourth. Tyreek Wilson with the delivery. And Sir Genie Frankson, well, that was a brave header. Came off the upright as well. And no chance for Briscoe. Molynes 1.
Yeah, brilliant header there. We've seen a lot of teams this season look to attack the front post from corner kicks. The difference with this one is that a lot of times I see them, they're outside that near post looking to flick it back on target. This time he made a run from the middle and he was still inside that front post when he met that ball, and so was much easier to get it on target. That's a brave but brilliant header as well. And Molynes in the 8th minute here takes the lead, and from a set play, and that 200 and odd minutes, and we've been harping about Basil Reynolds' organisation. It wasn't from open play. He'll be having a fit over conceding from set plays, because he would have looked to organise his team much better than that. Nobody went with Frankson, and came on the blind side of the defender who was in front, who was surprised by his arrival, and even more so by the ball nestling in the back of the net. And it's game on here for this fixture, and Humberland have a lot to do.
Nice finish from Frankson, and just the 13th goal that Molynes have scored this season.
But Humberland just one more, 2-14, so not so prolific as well. And
yeah, both these teams.
And none of these two teams have won a game having conceded first this season so far. So, yeah, it's a lot for Basil Reynolds to overturn here. Not though that Molynes will actually win when scoring first. The goal was assisted by Enrique Gordon.
Yeah, Wilson had taken them. Majority of the corners leading up to that. This time it was Gordon, and it was a success. Here they go again. Gordon into the air, a lovely pass. Chance over the top. What a miss. Romario McPherson, well, not sure you'll get a better chance than that.
But before McPherson, it was Davis, the youngster, who missed it. Just missed out. I think he took his eyes off it. That's what normally happens.
Enrique Gordon into the air. It was a good ball yet again.
Yeah.
And he's got to do better there, McPherson.
He had more time too, but Davis, won't give him such a hard time. Came under pressure from the defenders, but missed it from center of the goal.
Here's Nelson driving down. This has been a good start from Molynes. Looking to make further inroads, looking to find back Nelson. Was Davis. Humberland trying to build something of their own, but they have been second best so far in the first 10 minutes, giving away the ball.
And you can hear Basil Reynolds shouting for persons to move out. That's the difficulty you have when you play the 3-5-2 and you get those wing backs to join to make 5. Then you get the ball. The transition, if you're not careful, will not be quick enough for you to then have runners going forward. And that's what he's suffering at the moment, winning the ball back but not having a lot of support. Just now we saw their skipper just looking to switch the point of attack because that was the only option he had. But Molynes pressing high as well.
They have the energy going forward. Link up play is good so far. Not that controlled though. Wilson on that occasion, and Andrew Vanzi has seen it all before. Just will try and settle his team now, will Vanzi.
And again, we saw Vanzi winning that free kick, but there was not a lot of option in front of him as well to play to. I think taken aback is Humberland by the way that Molynes have gone at them in this opening 13 minutes. Because they did expect, I think, Humberland to come and set up as they did in terms of being a defensive shape. And they decided, as we see right here, good shot from right. Did really well, back to goal initially when it came into it, but just flicked up and just peeled off the defender. And strikers like that, you know, they'll get in the mix. They'll go through some bad spells, but they won't be afraid to shoot, because everything he does is just looking for that extra yard of space to execute a shot. As we see, you're played into him, but good turn. Defender got a bit too tight and just turned to his left and then let fly with the right boot.
Jason Wright. We actually said 5 goals to him, but I was wondering if we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Actually 4 on the season.
Okay.
For Wright. Maybe, I'm not sure if he sent a telepathic message that he's going to add that 5th today.
maybe.
He's scoring there
and bail us
4-1
out.
loss. Yeah, he's scoring that 4-1 loss against Arnett Gardens, which was the last goal they scored, Jason Wright. Of course, before that, an important win for Molynes, which carried them further away from Treasure Beach, that 2-0 win. And you just thought at that point over Vere United that maybe Molynes were turning the corner, but then a very disappointing display against Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, and that has kept people like the teams below them still believing, because they're there. An important win here would force the teams below them to try and get something from games, because
a win here would take them to 14 points, which would be 7.
Yeah, having played a game more, it would be, well, Treasure Beach, they played a...
Yeah, Treasure Beach haven't played yet. They come up against Portmore, I think it is. So, yeah. And it's Harbourview in 11th position, and they have 16 points. So even a win here won't take Molynes further up in terms of positions on the table. So it will know, but they'll now open up a 7-point gap, which, based on what we've seen from Treasure Beach and Lime Hall, 7 points is a lot.
It's massive. It would be massive
with only 11 games to go.
While not moving up the table, they know their sights are set on getting away from the relegation zone and be comfortable. So that's their aim. Amberland, they still, and there are in hopes of getting into that top 6, because a win for them today, Amberland, will take them to what, 21 points, and that's closer, you know, just behind our Waterhouse, if even momentarily.
Throw to Molynes. 1-0 advantage, the goal. Sergini Frankson in the 8th minute. Humberline with majority possession at this time, 54%, but really and truly they don't look dangerous at all. It's been Molynes who look as if they're going to make things happen, and well, we're going to see the first yellow card. Andre Farquharson has it out. He didn't like that challenge at all. Afiba Chambers pleading, but I don't think he's going to put it back in the pocket. And so yeah, yellow card coming into Zidane Christie. And playing in that wide right wing back position, the furthest right of the 5.
Yeah, but expected to be a part of the attacking thrust of this team. Times the shape will look like a 3-3-4 if they can get them high enough, those wing backs. At the moment, Molynes not affording them that opportunity to do so.
Good ball into there, headed across. Now a shot, it's blocked. It was Frankson again who was looking to do damage, looking for his second goal. I don't think he's ever scored 2 in a single game, Sergini Frankson. And that one was heading on target.
At the moment, smiles for Jermaine Thomas there, liking what he's seen from his team. Difficult ball there, because once it went across, the second ball was where Umberland wanted to be very effective. They weren't. It's one thing to lose those first ball, but you've got to win the second, because that's a lot of times with free kick, it's the second phase that really hurts you, and a lot of teams are set up for that. Since that early ball across the Molynes 6-yard box, I think Umberland have been starved of any opportunities in the final third. really been engaged high up the pitch, and then when they get into the middle of the park, because of it, a lot of it has been transitional play, not being able to open up quick enough to get runners. I know they're in an organised attacking state. Let's see what they'll look to do. 2 at the back and 4 across the middle.
Molynes being pushed back, looking to drive forward, but a hopeful ball, and it's not going to work out for James Thomas.
What's going to be interesting is how long Molynes will continue to play this high press. It's cool conditions, so get the feeling not going to be undone by the conditions they're playing in.
Andrew Vanzi, pass inside, not the best touch from Kareem Bryan on this occasion, and he gives it away. Now Molynes, they certainly look more purposeful getting forward. That's a nice pass. Oh, Jason Wright is off side. Jeremy Nelson pulling wide. Such an integral part of this team is Jeremy Nelson, but at times, for a player of his experience, shows too much indiscipline and gets needless red cards. But when he's in the squad, in the 11, I think Molynes look a stronger unit because he's such a versatile player.
He's played all both. I've seen him this season playing as centre-back as well.
He's played centre-forward, centre-back, plays all the different variations of the midfield.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen his keeping abilities just yet.
Just can't keep hold of the ball. Is
Gordon coming central on this occasion, through to Wilson. That might be a little bit too heavy.
Yeah.
Remember that breeze.
Yeah, definitely. But not necessarily going in that direction. But I tell you what, just not able to hold on to the ball is unbalanced. And so a lot of it too unforced errors. They've got to sort that one out quite quickly. But for this man's team, they're going to have to take advantage of it. It's still just a goal in it. And for all this dominance of possession and playing in the attacking third, they need to damage the score sheet even further. Really looking to play a lot of those diagonal balls when they get into the final third is this Molynes team, but really like the way they've gone about pressing Molynes.
Molynes being pushed back right now. It's back with Vanzi, the captain. Malik Robinson does find Kareem Bryan.
It was for the second time, consecutive time, his first touch. Well, at least he kept it close to him this time. The first time it was away from him and there was a turnover. He's looking to try and find a way through here is Molynes.
Well, I think they're just trying to enjoy some possession at the moment, because they have been doing a lot of chasing in the opening 20 minutes. That's a nice pass. Not sure if it was the right thing from Pasco, allowing it to bounce. I thought he would have caught it on the full and then kept the momentum.
Always once it bounced, it gave the defender,
especially with this wind.
Yeah, an advantage.
Here's Vanzi, getting higher than normal. He'll not want to concede a free kick in and around this kind of area of Molynes because Vanzi is so good from the dead ball. Now Molynes, that's going to be easy for Peter Harrison. Way too close to the keeper from Christie. But here's Vanzi. Almost every time he's gotten the ball, he's been in his own half, but this time being able to execute a pass in the opposition half, Vanzi, but it comes to nothing. Wilson to right, nice 1-2 play. Molynes certainly look a lot more organised in the middle of the park, especially with their passing. And Wilson has seen a lot of the ball. And ambitious pass there and was always going to be up against it. Scott with the clearance. Fastly, as I said, no surprise that he's off his bench. As I said, likes to micromanage, especially with the organization. Big on that.
Big on that, but it's really not working out for him. Just his defenders are arriving after the fact a lot of times, and despite having 5 there, still not plugging those half spaces well enough. So numbers are there, but not quite in the right places. And he said he did work on that all week long. I guess he was expecting this from Molynes, but expectancy is one thing, dealing with it is another.
Well, already the changes at the back have made a difference for Molynes. They certainly look a lot more comfortable, Samuels and Duar. And obviously the understanding would be good because they played together at Dumble Holding.
Yeah.
There is O'Dane Samuels, a Charlie Smith graduate, came out of the Jerome Waite Academy. Was used to playing in that kind of 3-4-3 you mentioned, where you have to be very organized and deliberate.
And Waite is a type of coach who is like that as well.
Correct. They went all the way to the final in 2014, and Samuels was a part of that team for Charlie Smith. Then went to Arnett Gardens and then to Dumble Holding.
So a little bit of a raiding of his former club, Jeremy, because he was coaching there last season as well.
There is
Dumble Holding.
Sean Dua wearing the number 27. Was one of the main centre backs in the, when Dumble Holding went all the way to the final in 2021, 22. Chance for Humberline into the area towards the back post. He was looking for James Thomas but didn't find him. Can you see the usefulness of Jeremy Nelson there?
Yeah, dropping deep and
winning both headers because of his height as well, and very aggressive in his play. That's a poor pass from the youngster, Davis. It's not an easy transition from schoolboy football right into the Premier League.
Yeah, the physicality is a lot as well, and the quality is.
Yeah, I always say playing against the adult male is never the same when you're just a young teenager. As you said, the physicality, just the toughness of the league, of the body as well.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do what you normally would, and the space that you're afforded at schoolboy football level with a little bit more talent not given here. He's down injured, Davis.
He's not quite down, but he looks a bit winded for Humberline. But yeah, Davis is. Head collision. Well, 1-0 the lead for Molynes. It came from this moment. Enrique Gordon to Frankson off the upright. Brave header by Frankson. Look at how many green shirts he got in between. Challenged well did Frankson, and had the smile and the somersault to go with it as well.
Yeah, FIBA Chambers was trying to stop him from making contact, but he really bullied him and really out muscled him there, knocking him off the pitch. He was determined, Frankson, to get his head on that particular ball coming in. Just remind.
Download the SportsMax app today from your Google Play or the Apple App Store, and take in your sporting content of choice on the home of champions. Of course, if you were watching it, or if you had downloaded the app already, you would have seen that exciting win from the West Indies against Australia down under, against all odds.
All odds, including myself as well. I have to say, I'll admit that.
Shamar Joseph with 7 for 68. What figures that were. Yeah, one of the best single-handed bowling displays. We've seen in some time a first win for the West Indies in 27 years down under. That's a big deal. Not winning a test match since 1997. So big deal for the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Craig Brathwaite and company and Shamar Josie, 5 wickets in the first test and then a 7-wicket haul in the second really was the difference. Player of the match, player of the series. So yeah, if you have the app, you would certainly have taken that in as well. There's also India against England, big test series going on. England winning the first test over the Indians, as Jason Wright looks to get in the area, create some magic of his own, but it's not to be. WTA tennis, there is Trinidad and Tobago Premier League as well. Carbo Cup is going on. Champions League. African Cup of Nations, well, that has had some really exciting encounters. The Africans so skillful, so quick as well, and we've seen some really magical goals scored in that tournament. So yeah, do download the app as soon as you can. Easy to navigate and full of action. Molynes, they have been full of action in these first 28 minutes. It's been a comforting display, you'd have to say, by the full blue.
Yeah, you'd have to say they're really monopolizing the possession.
Oh, that's a nice pass into right. Can he keep it in with this wind? He does.
It went out. Went out. Yeah, it just went out. But yeah, they really look good going forward, and their second best is Umberland, and they're doing right, Molynes, to try and see if they can break down this defence with a lot of numbers behind. They're playing the one-touch football. They're moving quite well. And at the moment, Umberland just have not been able to deal with it. They haven't figured it out as yet. A good thing about it, with all the dominance from that opening goal in the 8th minute, we're now in the 30th minute, and they have had looking at a hole is referee Farquharson. I think I walked the pitch too, and I did see a few, and I know there's close to where that shot put area is, those indent made by the ball. I've seen that in the penalty area of Humberland at the moment. So, you know, those impressions made by the shot put ball really can cause ankles to roll. And we know ankle injuries, you don't get over them that quickly when you get an hyperextension.
Although the quartet of officials should have surveyed the area before the game just to make sure that everything is okay. So I guess those little divots, as you might call them, are not that bad that they would have continued the game.
I didn't see them surveying it at the time, so I did.
Humberland looking to get back in this one. Coming into this, hadn't conceded in over 200 minutes. We're looking good, but that streak is broken by Molynes, who had an impressive first half an hour.
Yeah, really has been impressive.
Have strengthened their squad, have added 2 centre-backs, and yeah, they look very solid. And they've also added some other players who are on the bench as well. I see Dante Duncan, who was at Waterhouse, who a very interesting, very good wide player. And yeah, lots of stuff going on for Molynes. There's Dante Duncan, and yeah, they call him Buster. And Janae, you have found some Molynes fans in the stands. They must be quite happy with how things are progressing here at Stadium East.
Hi fans, I'm here in the stands for the Ray and Nephew fan spirit, and of course we're going to speak to a fan from Molynes United. You are the brother of Daniel Hardy.
Yeah.
But Daniel is not playing on the field today. He's hiding over there. So it's just pure support for Molynes today.
Yeah, man. You know, a great match so far. You know, the ball game look cool, nice. I'm telling the prediction I already said 2 love. Maybe it go 3 second half. You understand me?
So tell me, what is the injury that he has why he is not in the squad this week?
Slightly knee. Slight injury, yeah, but you know, by now and next week, supposed to, you know, come on.
Well, you told a little birdie that you predicted that this match would end in a scoreline of 2-0, right?
Yeah, 2-0.
So far, you guys have scored one goal.
It's supposed to be 2-0 now, but you know, ball game, the ball around, and you know, they miss a chance. So a ball game, the ball around.
Well, it is. We've seen Molynes play matches over the weeks. They are now 12th on the table, which means that they're struggling a little bit. Do you think that they can get out of that position and start to climb the table?
Of course, man. Of course. I just the back line just need to work on. You understand me? They might try to find the right back line for work on. But guarantee them will come out of the relegation, man.
Okay, well, you guys have heard it here first. He's promised you, so let's see what Molynes.
Promise, believe me.
Let's see what Molynes will have in store. Back to you, Chris and Dwight.
2 love. Second half, 2 love. Nah, ask Christ. 2 love.
Creating lots of interesting comments in the stands. Daniel Hardy, a 2-goal man this season, and have been a useful player for Molynes at the start of the season. At one point, it was thought that he would have been the partner for Jason Wright. Unfortunately for him, injured, knee injury and out, and they would love to have him back. Humber Lion looking to make inroads now into this Molynes defence that has been very solid so far, and it's not a kind of adjective that you would align with Molynes over the last 2 or 3 years. Chance, and Harrison is behind it.
Yeah, didn't make the type of contact he wanted just now. And that one just trickled to the custodian there, Harrison. Fans have been told to go a yard or 2 back by referee Farquharson.
Yeah, this is a little bit too far for Andrew Vanzi to score from here. Is their leading goal scorer with 3 goals already this season, Andrew Vanzi?
He's been a consistent player for them throughout the last maybe about a few seasons.
And considering he plays in more the defensive midfield role, it's not for him to turn up with as I said, 3 to 5 goals every season is commendable. I mean, albeit most from the dead ball,
but his work rate overall in the team in terms of being creator, provider as well, and also protecting the back four. And the leadership, it has been. He's been a good few seasons for Vanzi. Was out injured at one point for a little stretch.
Broke his leg.
Yeah.
That was last season as well. He was out for some time, and that's when I think Chambers took over the armband at some point, Afiba. Here's Javon Brown with the delivery. Deep. Finds Nelson. Nelson, good skill. Nelson over the top. Lots of pace behind the strike from Jeremy Nelson, but not the accuracy.
Interesting to see whether or not it was covered by Briscoe, because he did cut back inside neatly. He felt the chance had gone. I didn't want to strike with that left boot, but yeah, Briscoe was beneath it. Would have to be beaten for pace. But his positioning was right there. Poor defensive work again from Humberland, misjudging that header coming across. And player to do so is Christie. You look at Molynes just now, they're just not playing around. David's not playing around with it, just looking to get rid, picking the right moments to try and pass it out. Molynes will be trying to look to see if they can at least get one back before the half-time. They do have about 8 minutes to try and get that done.
Kicking with the breeze is Molynes as they look to get downfield yet again. Good work from Jason Wright. Skill cuts inside. Nice delivery across the area. Finds Gordon. Gordon, who had some 4 goals last season for Falkland before they were relegated, hasn't been able to get on the score sheet so far this season. Brown into the area.
It was one of the brightest sparks for Falkland.
The brightest.
Yeah, true. And he played in a lot of different positions, from wing back to attacking wide player.
I thought that was a nice pass, but the youngster Davis went down, and referee Farquharson says, get up. He just thought that was just too light from Molynes number 13. But yeah, Enrique, as you said, generally played in that wide area from, as you say, wing back to natural winger.
Yeah.
And certainly, look, he was one of the exciting prospects for Falkland. No surprise that he was gobbled up by Molynes, but we haven't really seen as much of his forward play as he showed for the Falkland team. He's been asked to do a lot more defensive duties, but I think when he gets forward, he would add a lot to this Molynes attack, as we've seen with his assist.
Yeah.
Davis is offside.
And the Carvalho here, second assistant Carvalho, calling the offside. Jermaine Thomas been spoken to by the referee. So
Andre Farquharson didn't like how Jermaine Thomas, the vocality.
Yeah, he felt it wasn't offside.
Yeah.
But
and had quite a bit to say, so Andre Farquharson just making sure he doesn't cross that line.
Yeah, keeping him in check.
We weren't on the line, but with the naked eye, it did seem like Davis went a bit early, though.
Just a thought, yes.
Yeah, so
it was close, and so you expect, you expect that the bench is going to make
nice
a fuss about it once it's close.
Yeah, here's Davis yet again. Davis just thought he might have thought about a shot, and he does on this occasion, but it's blocked.
He does have a sweet left foot on him, Davis.
There's a whistle on the play, belatedly from Farquharson. Not sure which way this will go.
Wilson is down.
With a breeze has picked up big time here at the stadium East Field. In fact, the temperature's dropped quite a bit. I would say if we started at 29 degrees, we're probably at about 25 now for sure, at least.
I'm feeling like
it's actually pretty chilly.
I'm feeling like 20.
Yeah.
Quite to make a change here.
Yeah.
Chandal Anderson is looking to come in.
Not sure if the change will be made yet, because they have some defending to do.
I'm not surprised it's coming for Christie. I did say even when Nelson got his shot off, Christie was poor with his defending in terms of heading. He's turned a few balls over too, unforced errors, so, and has been a target for this side. Vassal Reynolds here looking to plug that.
He's in the wall, is Christie. And Wilson standing over this. 2 assists on the season already for Tariq Wilson. Can he put a goal behind his name? Oh, how Molynes would love a 2-goal advantage going into the break. Wilson on target, into the back of the net. Oh yes, he can. Tariq Wilson open his account in the 41st minute. Molynes with a 2-goal advantage, and what an execution from the dead ball. No chance for Briscoe, and it's been a dream start for Molynes United. Tariq Wilson, their number 20, 2-0 to Molynes.
Well, he was the player that was fouled, and yeah, the wall didn't do its job because it went straight through it, because it was shifted somewhat. Looked like elevation, but there was a turning away. I think if we get another look at it here, but he picked himself up after being fouled, and a really lovely curl on that one, always going away from the goalkeeper. And just like that, the fan in the stand that Jenny had spoken to said it should have been 2. It is now 2. And the president is pleased as well.
Yeah, first goal of the season for Tariq Wilson to go with his 2 assists. I think you're a bit harsh on the wall there, Dwight Jeremiah.
I think if our producer gives us back again and get another look from behind the goal, I just wanted to see it again.
I think they could have jumped if you were going to say. I don't think they did jump.
They didn't jump
Granted,
at all.
the pace of the kick from Wilson, there was a lot of pace behind it.
But you got to jump. That's what you're there for, to help.
But I don't think it went through. I think you're shortening his quality there. I definitely think it went slightly over, but I'll agree that it could have been some
maybe
elevation.
We'll get another look at it to see. You could be right, but at the first glance, it just looked like, that wall just parted a bit. And that would be disappointing. Here we have a look here. Just have a look. Yeah, there. It's almost like it didn't jump for sure and passed close to.
Yeah, it passed close to Kareem Bryant.
Yes, probably should have.
Took his head away, as you say.
Yes, he just sort of
rocked away.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want a haircut.
I got one recently.
In fact, had he jumped there, he probably would have taken it in the face.
Yes.
But maybe should have at least kept his head.
Or if he had moved the head towards it, maybe a deflection. Probably could have been worse anyway.
The changes that you're talking about. Anderson on for Christie. They're number 4, Shandol Anderson. And it's going to be a double change because Cleo Clark, the Garvey Maceo youngster, comes on. And Everall Swaby is brought off. Well, 2 changes and not even a half complete yet. Tactical, it would seem, from Vassal Reynolds. Unhappy with the production of those 2 as a ball is delivered into the area, but O'Dane Samuels is there to get it away. They haven't been a threat at all, Humble Lion. And Molynes, well, 2 lovely moments for them and 2 goals.
And both from set pieces as well. And like I said, he will be disappointed, Vassal, with how they defended the set plays. The first one, runner wasn't tracked and it wasn't strong enough at the time of FIBA Chambers there. And then from this dead ball, still think the wall, like we say, they didn't jump and didn't do enough to prevent that ball reaching the frame of the goal. In the end, it hit the back of the net. So to be done, and how ironic it is, because he spent the entire week working on their shape and stuff, and in the end it was from set plays that they got undone.
Taraj Andrews in the stands, not in the squad today. Andrews. She's taken in her SportsMax app. No surprise. Lots of fans taking in the proceedings. She has on black and white. Is she here early for the Cavalier encounter?
Well, quite possibly so.
She's wearing the colours. Rashawn Livingston, who scored a brilliant strike here a couple of weeks ago at the Stadium East Field, had to settle for a place on the bench, but it's good to see that Molynes, as I said, extending their squad, so know they have impact players to come off the bench.
Exactly, and the ones that were picked to start have delivered so far.
We're here in 3 minutes of time to be added as that shot is deflected, and as I said, a lot more solid defensively are Molynes. Just how they get narrow when they're defending to crowd out the opportunities for Humble Lion has been an improvement, because throughout the season they have been caught wide open. In fact, if you were to name the 2 or 3 worst defensive displays we've probably seen this season in the Premier League, I think Molynes would hold at least 2 of them.
Yeah, and just now you can see the difficulty when they get that narrow, and Humble Lion, they just didn't have players wide enough. There was no chance of switching the point of attack just now.
But I think because Molynes realised that Humble Lion are playing in a narrow way, they have gotten extra narrow as well. Yeah. So it shows that they're thinking the adjustment, the defensive quality improved. As I said, there's obviously an understanding between Dua and Samuels because they've played together at Double Holding. So they have brought that here, and so far so good.
Well, you know, while they're absolutely flying at the moment, Molynes, you and I did a game on Monday and we saw Waterhouse flying against Montego Bay in the second half. Mabay came back, it ended 2-2, but Mabay looked like the team to win, that were going on to win it in that second half.
Here goes Jason Wright into the area. Doesn't have much help. Now he gets it to Wilson. Back to Wright. Wright looking for the strike. Wright makes it 3. Well, Jason Wright, we said he sent us a telepathic message, and he did. A handful of goals on the season for Jason Wright, and it's all Molynes in this first half. What a performance from a team that last season were the 4th highest scorers in the Premier League, producing this kind of quality, made by Jason Wright, aided by Tariq Wilson, and the production line ended with Jason Wright.
Yeah, this goal is all about Jason Wright. His drive into the box to stretch the defence and then to play the 1-2 and then get it back again from Nelson. He just kept on running. You could see, once the overload came, he used it, didn't hesitate, and then just waited. He was running onto that path, but then saw Nelson, allowed Nelson to just team up and then just slot in the back of the net. That's the pick of the goals of the 3 so far for me. And Wright, yeah, points to the Evans, the Messi type celebration and giving thanks.
A consistent scorer for this Molynes team is Jason Wright. Not as fluent as we saw last season, but no surprise with the changes that were made, especially in attacking positions for Molynes. Just couldn't find a partner, but now 5 goals and growing in confidence. As I say, scoring more often than not now is Jason Wright, who had a slow start to the season. But Wilson picking up yet another assist. That's 3 assists now.
No, it's Nelson. Wilson just was a part of it in terms of the first.
Did Jeremy Nelson actually touch the ball?
Yeah, he did. He teed it up for.
I was about to say I thought it was a nice fake pass from Nelson.
No, he did touch it. And that goal would not have been scored, to give Wilson some credit. Had Wilson not come into it, because he created that overload, and it was no longer 1v1 but 2v1. Lovely goal from Molynes.
It's the end of the first half. A dominant display for Molynes. Sergini Frankson, with his first of the season, started things off. Then Wilson from the free kick, and the dead ball, Tariq Wilson for his first of the season, and then Jason Wright. You just couldn't complete a Molynes performance without Jason Wright having a part of it and scoring his 5th goal of the season. 3-0 at half-time. Molynes, it's all them.
The light bill is high again. There must be something I can do about this. I remember seeing something on Instagram. Was it Connex? Let me check. Wait, Connex does solar pool pumps too? Hi, I saw an ad on Instagram about a solar pool pump and I'm interested. You send someone today? Perfect.
Go green with Connex.
When we walked into Mount Pleasant Academy, we knew our lives will change.
We did not have to compromise our academic potential for our passion for football.
Mount Pleasant Academy is not just an institution.
It is an environment of fun, healthy rivalry, teamwork, and balance.
It is passion, purpose, and discipline.
Who said you can't have the best of both worlds?
We are Mount Pleasant Academy, the future of football.
Ray and Neville, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one bar, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rare rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rare rum, a celebration time.
Rare rum, I feel we culture. Rare rum. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Nephew overproof from what just a do it to the culture.
Years are older to drink responsibly.
Welcome back to the Stadium East Field here in St. Andrew, where Molynes, they have run riot here. They're leading on Molynes by 3-0, and it's only the first half. Let's see how they went about it. Parkinson got us on our way, and it was Molynes who started, got the early chance there. FIBA Chambers getting onto the end of it. Thought that was things to come, but that's not the case. And it was the first goal of the game. Frankson making a run unchecked inside that near post. Gordon with the corner kick, and just like that, he bulldozed his way through and got Molynes on the score sheet. Molynes just did not allow Molynes to get out there after Jason Wright here with a snapshot, just a flick to his left and let fly with the right boot. And to the back post, Nelson playing that second ball in, and that shot blocked. Frankson again looking to get on the score sheet. The little tank on this corner kick duties this time, and it was a torrid time for Humberland. They just couldn't deal with the cross, and that was Nelson booting high. And then the second, Wilson got fouled, picked himself up, and the wall didn't jump, didn't move towards it, but take nothing away from that free kick. Always going away from Briscoe in goal, and no chance, absolutely no chance once that passed the wall. And just like that, Molynes were 2 goals to the good, just on the back of a fan in the stand saying it would be 2-0. He will be happy to be wrong, because when we look here, it is Jason Wright. Wilson arrived, then played the touch. Nelson just teed up, and Wright, yeah. Give Wilson a lot of credit, because you felt Wright was going nowhere without the arrival of Wilson. And when it came across, Wright was aware that Nelson was there, allowed a tee up from Nelson. That's the pick of the 3 goals for me. Good link-up plays from the front men. And it was 3 goals to the good for Molynes. And from 14 goals in about 15 games, they're now 17 goals. And a really good return thanks to the Evans, that Jason Wright is saying. A look at first half statistics in this one. Molynes with 6 shots, 50% on target, and those 50% went in. Humberland just 2 shots, same 50%, 1 on target. 5 fouls committed by Molynes, 2 for Humberland, 1 yellow card given to an Humberland player. 5 corner kick for Molynes, 1 for Humberland. 53% of the possession for Humberland. They have gained in that, but not really threatening. But it's Molynes who leads this one by 1-0. Janae is in the halftime, has a very interesting guest for us. Janae, it's your turn. Take it away.
Interesting indeed. I am here with Mr. Peter Higgins. He's the chairman for Molynes United, as well as a big man, a top shot, vice president for NCB National Commercial Bank, as you may know it. Mr. Peter Higgins, we have to hold out a reasoning about what's going on with Molynes United. They're at the latter end of the table. What's the struggle that you are having with the team?
Well, probably you don't have to talk to the coach, but one of the, from my layman point of view, yeah. We conceded too much soft goals, and we're not scoring as much as we should. Fortunately, we're here now and we're 3-0 up. Yeah, yes. But we some of the issues, it's just the quality of the players. So we had to do some recruitment in this January window. Yeah, we definitely see that. You're seeing some different defensive players on the field. So that's one of the things that we're trying to bring in to start for next season, because I think. For me, I think the season now is lost. We just need to rebuild from here for the next season. Well, it's lovely to see you here at Stadium East today. You are fully branded in Molynes United as usual attire. This is, I would suppose, not your first match you're visiting. No, I'm usually at the game. I think I've only missed 1 match this season, and I'm usually at other games as well. I'm a football is in my DNA. I used to be a general secretary at CASAFA as well, so I have always been in maybe the last 20-30 years I've been involved in football. Well, it seems to me that you are fussy and you know a bit about football. But what is the reason why we haven't been seeing a lot of Molynes United fans coming out? We are playing at a central location near to quote-unquote Molynes. What would be the reason? The truth is, it's the result. The fans are going to stay away. We're not doing very well. Since we're in the league the last 5 years, we have not done well. As I said, next year we think we will do much better. We're actually doing some work on our home venue. We have a very good pitch. We have some stands and we want to put in some more stands. So I think next season when we are actually playing at home, we will get our supporters out.
Well, we must speak about, on the other hand, you at National Commercial Bank, NCB. We know that scamming is something prevalent in Jamaica. And what is your piece of advice that you can give locals in Jamaica to mitigate them being affected by this scamming?
Well, we have put a lot of stuff in place to prevent, but we can't prevent everything. But what I would say, people need to be a little bit more vigilant and be careful with their money.
Yes. Well, we did have a previous chat a while ago. We were talking about senior citizens, older people just giving away their passwords easily because they don't understand the machines. What are some things that you guys can put in place to, you know, make it easier for them to use?
So a lot of it is going to be education, and we are doing that. We have put in new intelligent ABMs. So we are doing some work, and we have been listening to our complaints from our customers. And if you're listening to our chairman as well, you'd see that we're doing a lot of work. We're back to work this week. Everybody will be back in office.
Yes.
So we want to push our customer service some more and to be talking and having more dialogue with our customers to enhance their experience as well as to mitigate against the scamming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Peter Higgins. He didn't want to talk very long, but he's gone back to watch some football, and we're going to take a break. We'll be back for second half.
Thank you.
When we walked into Mount Pleasant Academy, we knew our lives will change.
We did not have to compromise our academic potential for our passion for football.
Mount Pleasant Academy is not just an institution.
It is an environment of fun, healthy rivalry, teamwork, and balance.
It is passion, purpose, and discipline. Who said you can't have the best of both worlds?
We are Mount Pleasant Academy, the future of football.
Turn your passion into winnings with JustBet. Watch your favorite international leagues and tournaments and get in the game with JustBet. We have the best odds on over 100 sports: football, basketball, boxing, rugby, motorsports, even virtual matches. Register on the JustBet mobile platform, mobile.justbetja.com, or visit one of our over 100 JustBet locations island-wide. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and win big with JustBet.
The light bill is high again. There must be something I can do about this. I remember seeing something on Instagram. Was it Connex? Let me check. Wait, Connex does solar pool pumps too? Hi, I saw an ad on Instagram about a solar pool pump and I'm interested. You send someone today? Perfect.
Go green with Connex.
The best clubs in Europe pursue this dream every season. And every action and reaction we have live. The UEFA Champions League on SportsMax, SportsMax 2 and the SportsMax app all season long.
Jason Wright scoring the last of the 3 goals in a top first 45 minutes for Molynes. The best we've seen them look all season. Not only defensively solid, but just how they put together their plays going forward. Dwight Jeremiah still with me, and you would think from the coaching staff, Jermaine Thomas and company, Peter Higgins, in terms of the business they have done in the transfer market, they must be really pleased with how Molynes are performing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, half-time, you have a clean sheet and you're 3 goals good, to the good. That's definitely pleasing. It's going to be a lot for Humberland to try and come back in this one, but not impossible. Vassal Reynolds, he left pretty early. Well, once the whistle went, he was down the tunnel, and his team talk was sorted out in his head. The first thing he's going to have to do is to stop the onslaught from this Molynes team, but bigger for him is to try and be a threat at the other end, because it was really non-existent in that first half. It was pretty blunt for them, and despite having numbers at the back, just couldn't stop the onrush and this Molynes team piercing holes in the defense. So a lot of work for them to do, and the conditions will suit up Molynes going on the front foot again with the high press. It worked really well for them in that first half. I don't see them letting up on that, because they were very organized, got very narrow once they lose the ball, and the counter press was truly on. We're off in the second half.
Yeah, so launched up front from Molynes early as they look hungry for more goals, and you can understand why. Just 4 points above relegation they sit, and they currently, well, coming into this game, -14 was their goal difference, so improving that. Now 15 goals on the season for them. The goal difference is at -11, and very much with 10 games to go after this season, goal difference could be a factor, so always important. And finally finding their goal scoring range. Molynes, lots of work for Humberland to do, and Vassal Reynolds, he did make 2 changes after about some 35 minutes in the first half or thereabouts. Wasn't happy with how his team were performing. Made a double change, but needless to say, there haven't been much improvement at all, and it's still been all Molynes. Let's see how they are just now when they'll be kicking against the breeze.
Well, his double change came after the second goal. He conceded a third.
Nice pass from Vanzi to one of the substitutes. Now to James Thomas, who can't keep it. James Thomas here closing down. A medical doctor by profession, James Thomas. Not sure how often we'll say that in the Premier League. The Humberland number 20 has scored 1 goal already this season. In fact, was the last scorer of a goal for Humberland. There he is, James Thomas, qualified medical doctor by profession. So yeah, Dr. James Thomas, we should be saying.
Just trying to engage high up the pitch, this Humberland team. Troy Farquharson just asking the substitutes to not interfere with the ball, just let it be.
Nice pass into the area. Humberland looking to make a difference, and offside. The flag is up, so offside, unfortunately for them.
Had a close one in that first half, but As you said, Chris, looked like he was correct on that one.
I thought so. It was Devon. It was Davis, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Davis.
Who was getting forward, Devon Davis. I just thought he went a little bit early. Well, Zabir Taylor, there he is in the stands. One of the best midfielders we saw this season for St. George's College. Enjoying the sweets and the Premier League.
Yeah,
I thought he was... when we saw the list of the all-Manning team that was put together, I thought he was a major miss. I thought he was a big miss and should have been included. Deserved to be a part of that all-Manning team based on his performance for St. George's. And yeah, it was a real important part of their squad. We're the number 6 and played in that midfield role. Defensive midfield at times and sometimes even a box-to-box role, but very effective.
Good player,
and a good player for the future. Part of the Phoenix Academy as well.
Okay, came across him like, 2 seasons ago when I brought William Nib to the Georges Cup, and he was developing real nicely at the time, but really blossomed this season.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him play. Intelligent player. Nice skill there from Frankson. That was intelligent in itself, and so is this pass to go. No, nice play from Molynes. They're certainly looking fluent. Here's another youngster in Davis driving forward, and we're maybe getting a little bit too adventurous. Trying to do too much, Davis.
And I don't think they mind him, and that's good to see from the Molynes. Not just the bench I'm talking, because they put him out there, but the players, their reaction to his driving forward. But he went into traffic, and sometimes you'd see they harp about youngsters doing that, but just allowing the skill set to take place. He will develop and mature and make the right decisions, having gone past 2 or 3 players, and then release at the right time. So it's a good environment, it would seem then, for him to be in, to express himself.
And Molynes, one of the teams that have been hungry for results and suffering from a thin squad. So the opportunity for game time for a lot of these youngsters, a possibility.
Yeah.
In fact, we've seen quite a few players as well from even your parish in Trelawney get opportunities here at Molynes.
It's because
Tariq O'Connor, who comes out of your academy at William Nib, I call it academy.
It's at Holland United as well.
Yes.
But yeah, he did play for William Nib. But yeah, for sure. And once you have the quality, and you've seen it throughout the Premier League with a lot of clubs, no more than at Cavalier too. But Jermaine Thomas, coach here, is quite willing to give that opportunities to youngsters once they're ready to display it at this level.
A high school coach himself, Thomas, with McGrath, winning the Ben Francis Cup this season, their first senior schoolboy trophy.
And that's where Davis did well in the Costa Cup.
Yeah, nice pass from Davis to Wilson with a strike. I think it was heading wide.
Yeah, just came back off his hand, Wilson. But again, we just saw so good sign again from Davis. This time didn't look to drive, saw the runner, released, and almost had an attempt at goal coming from that pass. But I just think the passing, especially in the final third as well, as good as an organizer he is as a coach, Vassal just cannot deal with it at the moment. The movement, the passing, the speed of play, the link-up plays have been good. Committing, they've shown good balance, Molynes, in terms of having numbers forward, but have the numbers back to thwart any counter.
Javon Brown driving forward with Nelson. But yes, it also shows that with 2 quality centre-backs, which is what they have now, it has allowed even the defensive midfielders to do the job in their rightful position. In fact, players haven't had to get back in the same way because they have thwarted attacks even early. This is over the top, overhit though, from Jeremy Nelson. So yeah, as I said, just the organisation of their unit, it looks a lot tighter. And that has aided in them pushing forward instead of being pegged back and out of position. So good moves from Molynes, good work in the transfer market. And I think what they will also realise is, as certainly the flag will be up on Roshane Sharp, is that with their current position, in the table or their recent history. It's not a team that they're necessarily going to make marquee signings early. But there are players, good players in other squads who might not be getting game time, who may look at Molynes and say, well, look, I could get game time if I go here and make the transition move. For example, Samuels and even Dua, who are on the bench at Molynes.
And we saw Janae speaking with the president at half-time as well.
Chance inside the area again for Molynes. And Jason Wright, well, I'm not sure if he got that final touch or if it would have been an own goal.
No, it would have been, I think it's a corner.
Yeah, so it's put wide from Robinson. And that was a nice build-up again. This time, the ball coming into the area from McPherson. One time, look at this. It was good from McPherson.
And really had pace on it too. That one was cutting grass.
Could have gone anywhere. I think Briscoe was alarmed, the keeper. Enrique Gordon has already had an assist from a corner. He will take this one. Again. Can Molynes find a fourth? Into the area. Finds a ahead with a blue shirt on. It's Davis, the teenager, but he can't put it on target. The heavy breeze has stayed with us here at the Stadium Eastfield. Very overcast conditions. The clouds have certainly come across. Not the most threatening of clouds, but there is, you can tell, maybe a bit of rain in the distance. Over the hills and out to the east. The players will certainly be enjoying the coolness here. And I'm sure it will only get cooler as we shift down towards the evening hours.
Yeah, it would have been
in Kingston
difficult to see Molynes continue this incessant high press in, like, as you see this attempt, a 1 o'clock game. You get me? So you're right, the conditions really conducive.
I'm glad it's not 1 o'clock either. Dwight Jeremiah. I wouldn't have enjoyed that.
About it. But yeah.
Here go Humber Lion on a rare occasion that they have space. And going forward, Brian looking for Sharp, but yeah, that wind that we spoke about is going to carry that out of play in rapid time. And Roshane Sharp, well, a man who scored 29 goals in his Premier League career, has been, well, more of a passenger today, hasn't really seen much of it, hasn't been effective in the 18-yard box of Molynes. It's been a pretty dull performance for this Vassal Reynolds team so far. Haven't really been amongst the goals, but they have been doing well defensively. Not today. Good work from Fancy, but the touch is poor, and Adain Samuels is there to clear. And, well, the foul actually goes against Molynes and Davis. I'm a bit surprised at that. I thought initially Davis was the one who was fouled. Anyhow, here's Cleo Clark, another teenager. And Davis has remained down. I'm sure when we have a look at that challenge, I'm not sure if it's a bit of a hamstring injury. Look at it from Davis here. Uses his pace, gets around the player. Oh, it is Davis who kicks the back of Afiba Chambers' leg. He would say that Chambers tripped him, but I think he was guilty one. So good call from Andre Farquharson. Davis actually playing the player. And Rashawn Livingston is getting ready to come on. And this is a kind of change that you said a few months ago. Molynes wouldn't have had that kind of option on the bench.
And you expect with him, Livingston, he brings a lot of energy, lots of positive action as well. In terms of, and skill set, he will look to threaten. So again, if Davis were to come off, it's not like Cumberland is going to be let off the yoke or let up in terms of that.
Although Davis seems to be playing more centrally, I think Livingston is better when he is played wide.
Yeah, they'll make the adjustments if necessary.
Sure. But Livingston, you think against a tiring defense line that he could be a handful. So it's the right kind of time for a player like Livingston. And it is Davis who is making his way off. The McGrath youngster. Not a bad shift.
Not a worst out. No, I was about to say that, Chris. Not the worst outing. Didn't really sparkle, as you'd say, but it's not one that you'd write down and say, doesn't look like he'll make it at this level. Certainly has time, and as I said, showed some of his skill set with his dribbling ability, but also the awareness to pick the pass when it's available to him, and that's a good sign.
It wasn't quite the Shamar Joseph kind of performance that we saw this morning.
No, not at all. Not at all. And you know,
it was more of a Kimar Roach, a supporting role.
It's funny that you can then use such a situation using a West Indies player.
Well, of course, they're all West Indians here.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of performance, we have been getting that from the West Indies a lot. I'm happy in your pronouncement today that no point in saying that was a good performance from them. You spoke about the corner being turned, because a lot of time I keep saying that corner seemed to be a very long one, or being a circle not ending.
or the deepest we have ever seen.
Yes.
And we're talking about, of course, the West Indies victory against Australia down under, their first victory in 27 years, and they have made the Caribbean people proud, at least for now. And the hope is that from a West Indian and a cricket perspective, that they'll only grow from here. And great to see young players, new players at the test level, putting together those kind of performances against the #1 team in the world. Good to be extra good to be a West Indian today.
Why not? Why not?
Cumberland. Some scorelines coming in from around the island as well. Portmore United leading 3-0 against Treasure Beach. So the woes continue for Rambo Weatherburn and his team, who currently sits 13th in the table.
Which has implications here, because Molynes winning extends this run to our lead to what, 7 points?
7 points. Molynes would move to 14, and Treasure Beach
still
obviously
are
going to remain at 7.
And the other team in the relegation, no word from Waterhouse versus Waterhouse.
Well, Waterhouse against Lime Hall, yes.
No words there yet.
That match is being played at
Waterhouse.
Yeah, Jerusalem. Waterhouse at home. And Mount Pleasant, they lead Dumble Holding at Ferdinand Park by 2-0. Shaquille Bradford with his first goal in a Mount Pleasant shirt in his second start. So he's resumed scoring duties as Shaquille Bradford, and that's 9 on the season now for him. The other goal scorer was Daniel Green, who's continued his consistency since coming back from Vietnam, albeit from the penalty spot, but they all count, don't they?
They certainly do. And words coming in with Lymall at 44 minutes that they were holding their own. It was 0-0 against Waterhouse at that point.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
And Vanny Clark and company.
Treasure Beach, they've gotten one back against Portmore. 3-1, but that's almost done and dusted. About 6 minutes to go in that one.
Lime Hall also seemed like they had some back and forth in terms of their administration. Change of coaches at the helm, and now there's a reversal again.
There's a reversal because Vanny Clark is back at the helm, and the Pasco not there.
Yeah, Livingston looking to get through. Good work by
Purser, rather.
Yeah, Purser.
Not there.
So more
Dumble Holding,
unsurety for Lime Hall.
Dumble Holding, they've gotten one back against Mount Pleasant. It's 2-1.
Oh,
and that was a good ball across the box from.
Well done by Frankson.
Yeah.
That could have gone anywhere. Didn't have his balance there, Sergini Frankson. I wouldn't have wanted I don't know if it's an accolade of scoring at either end of the park. So got it over the bar.
Not good accolades at all. Not at all. But that's one of the better moments from Humberland in this contest.
So Dumberline have half the lead, as they said, 2-1 now between them. Dumble Holding.
you tied them.
I tied the names.
You get across.
Dumble Holding, yeah. 2-1, they trailed the champions.
Yes. But that's in the 90th minute, so that one is almost done, but still could salvage something from that.
I'm hearing that the Portmore game, their 3-0 lead over Treasure Beach, a player we spoke about.
3-1 at the moment, no.
3-1 now.
Yeah.
That Stephen Young on the score sheet, a player who comes out of your camp and had promised at the start of the season that he would be scoring a lot more goals in a Portmore shirt. We spoke about how well he wins headers at both ends, and probably has the highest percentage in terms of of successful headers.
I'll check in with him to find out when it's done and dusted which part of his body he scored with, because last season he scored more with his feet than his head, and I would have expected more from the head.
Well, I think we all have. Here's a chance now for Molynes off the upright from Jason Wright.
Yeah, they didn't close him down, and
ball inside the air, taken down by Wright. Now to, well, Wilson with the acrobatic attempt and just wide.
I tell you what, Briscoe was rooted to the spot. If that one was going in the postage stamp area of the goal, top corner, there was no chance. Right. Yeah, that one peeled off the outside. Probably took a little bit of the paint off. It struck it so hard.
Briscoe was beaten for sure.
Yeah, beaten with that one and beaten with the second as well. As once this ball was recycled, then played to that back post. And right chest it down for Wilson, and Wilson just looked to, Briscoe was just a spectator like
I wonder the height of it though, if it might have actually hit the crossbar.
But if it was on target, that would have
Briscoe was
beaten. Yeah, beaten for sure. It was like a tree there. The wind wasn't enough.
It's strong
the wind here
like
wouldn't be enough to move him either.
Stone like winds here, so
still wouldn't be able to move him. That's how rooted
his branches weren't swaying.
No, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, it still looks like more of a Molynes extending their lead in this one than Molynes getting back in this contest.
Currently 3-0.
It would be interesting to what positives will Coach Reynolds take from this one, because it's not like, we let in some goals today, but we were really good at the other end, really creating chance, but not finishing, so I'll go and work on my finishing. It's blunt at that end, and it's porous at the other end.
Yeah, not been a good performance thus far from Molynes by any means, but very solid at both ends of the park for Molynes.
Yeah, man. Harrison didn't like that back pass. Not at all.
Did well though.
But I think his touch didn't help him at all.
We spoke about Livingston going right. Here he is now in the wide area. Likes to take on the defense line as well. McPherson, a flick on to Wilson. Here is Frankson into the area. And Enrique Gunn will switch the play and find McPherson. It's been all Molynes. And the change has been good because Livingston has come on in a very lively manner. Patience and all being shown from Molynes. This has been a spirited performance so far in the first 65 minutes.
And you're right, the back pairing, centre-back pairing from Molynes.
They're comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, not tested here as well, but they do show some composure, a lot of it. And the understanding between the two, really good. The fact that they've worked together before, Dwyer and Samuels.
And Frankson, who was generally playing centre-back right throughout the season, has been asked to play a right-back role. And not only has he scored, but he's gotten forward very well, Sergini Frankson, and he's adapted well to the right-hand side. And Molynes, well, they haven't had any answers thus far. No goals for them, and they've conceded all of 3. Now 24 they've conceded in the season, Molynes, and I can imagine their coach and their fans are pretty disgruntled. And Jenny, you have one of them, don't you?
Hi everyone, I am here with Spunky Tiger, original lion from Molynes. You have a little bit of history with Molynes, so talk to me about that.
Yes, okay. I started representing Molynes during the early 90s to about the mid-90s.
Well, hold on for a second. We're going to go back to Chris because there's something interesting happening right now.
Well, what is interesting is that Molynes have pulled one back just after we said that going forward they have added nothing. Kareem Bryan, who scored in the fixture earlier this season in the 1-1 draw, has scored yet another, double his tally on the season. And yeah, this one, a pass from Rashane Sharp, who picks up the assist, and that's a good finish by Bryan into the far corner. 3-1 now.
Yeah, really lovely finish, and for the first time in this game, they've found the holes in the Molynes defence that seemed to not have existed previously, and that's a nice finish to the far side. And Harrison can't be blamed at all. And right now, signs are that he may not be able to continue. We saw the universal sign just now for the substitution from the physios on the park. But yeah, Brian, confirmation that he has pulled one back for Humberland. Jenny, maybe the mood of the fan just changed just now. So yeah, back to you, Jenny.
Well, I know for sure his mood has changed, but he didn't even see the goal. He was so concentrated on our conversation. Let's get back to that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, it's good like they got one back, you know. We can try to build from here.
Yes.
Let's see where we go from here.
It seems as if Coach Vassar Reynolds had a very intense talk with them at halftime for them to come back against this Molynes United team.
Yes, well, I'm sure he would have done that because they had a poor first half.
Yes.
You know, we had a game plan, but it seems all went pear-shaped as soon as we conceded the first goal. So he has to shake them up half-time and come out, and it seems like it's been working so far. So
well, you sound, and I know that you're a man that knows your football. You told me that you used to play back in the 90s with one of the coaches on the bench. Which coach is that?
Okay, so that's Gary.
He's right beside Coach Vassar Reynolds.
Yes, and tell you something more special. Vassar Reynolds, when I went to Clarendon College, 1981, Vassar Reynolds was my mentor as a football player. So me and him go way back as well, even before Gary. So, special.
Well, we've seen them score back on this Molynes United team. Do you think that they will come out victorious in this competition? Because it seems to me as if the Lions are roaring. So, do you think that any more goals are in this contest?
I think so. I think goal in football is energy. So, I think they have the momentum at the moment. So, let's see. If they can get one back, then could be interesting.
Okay, well, you heard it from Spraggy Lion.
Spunky Tiger.
Spunky Tiger, sorry. And let's see what is happening with the Humber Lions.
Spunky Tiger is in the stands. Jenny, how you call the tiger lion? It's a different cat.
But really, a tiger supporting the lion. It's a cat's world.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. Went to school with Vassar Reynolds in the early 80s. And yeah, good stuff. Humberland getting one back. Kareem Bryan with his third of the season. And Rasheen Sharp picking up the assist. Hope for Vassar Reynolds.
And time as well to really do more damage. Just going to have to, hopefully, the old cliche in football really applies to them. And they say what a difference a goal makes. And they'll have to build on it immediately, but Molynes just trying not to allow Humberland to build up a momentum after scoring that one, and just trying to see if they can score another. And really, that's Molynes, and really just take any hope away from Humberland.
Yeah, just about 20 minutes to go. Molynes defense eventually broken down. Can't really keep many clean sheets.
And we can advise or inform the audience that Mount Pleasant, they have won their match against Dunbeholden. So a 2-1 win for them. Goals from Green and Bradford. Given that victory. So that one ending 2-1 in favour of Mount Pleasant, and so they will remain at the top of the table.
Police officers taking in the proceedings and making sure everyone is safe. Header away from Humberland, coming off the head of Malik Robinson.
That shot makes me feel safe, yeah.
Everybody enjoys the Jamaica Premier League. and one of the officers catching the action on the app, probably. Two of them, yeah.
3, make it 3. That one's a black
all of a
phone.
sudden,
Yeah.
all of a sudden
they're popping up.
I wonder if somebody messaged them and said, look, you guys are on TV.
Yeah, checking themselves.
Yeah, good to see them here taking in the proceedings as well. Quite a few policemen as well, and ladies.
But really for the neutrals, what would make it interesting is to see another goal from Humberland. But at the moment, it is Molynes who look as if they want to extend their lead or regain their 3-goal cushion.
Nice play from Kareem Bryan, in some confidence after his goal. Now out wide, promising play this for Humberland. Clark favors the left, passes with the left to Vanzi. Dangerous from that kind of range. Spreading the ball well. Now out wide, but that was a disappointing delivery. Still with Bryan though. Will he get a second chance, Pasco? Into Vanzi. This has been the best sequence of play for Humberland. Bryan into the area, chance here, Sharp. Good pass play, but Odean Samuels was watching it all the way.
Yeah, I think 2 players there for Humberland. Not sure which one wanted to go for it, and in the end, none of them did. And it fizzled out to amount for nothing in the end. But their number 10 and number 4 just didn't get their bearings right as to figuring out who should go.
And that's the 2 substitutes that came on in the first half. Clark and Anderson.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. The first sustained bit of action in the final third from Molynes. From Humberland, rather.
Yeah. Always a play I like to see. Rushane Sharp thinks he has quite a bit of quality, and there he does. Definitely have the quality. Rushane Sharp from the wide area. It's his second assist of the afternoon, and Humberland have pulled another one back, and it is the substitute, one of them at least, Shandal Anderson, with his first of the season, and just like that, it's 3-2.
Well, we have to look at Harrison and see here whether or not he could have come for that one. There was a signal earlier that he might not have been able to continue. They did continue with him, Molynes, but that ball into the box from Sharp, yeah, not sure he could have come there, but that's in the 6-yard box. Just have a look here. Yeah, maybe, just maybe expect your goalkeeper to come across. He's looking left and right, but he's definitely the one that the spotlight will be on. And that man there, Anderson, will also share it and take the bulk of the light, because he has, I just asked about it, maybe, as they say in the country, the goat mouth is quite poisonous. Maybe I just said, for the neutral, a second goal for Humberland would make this one really interesting. Now we see a 3-2 scoreline, really interesting here, and we just talk about the first spell of sustained pressure. So maybe, as you had said earlier, Chris, the back line of Molynes looked really comfortable, wasn't tested. A few tests and 2 goals have accrued from that. So let's see.
Yeah, just after we spoke about how solid they have looked defensively, that wasn't the best bit of defending from Molynes. In fact, yes, I think Peter Harrison should have commanded a 6-yard area. They always say the 6-yard box is for the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Should have done better, but again, where was the tracking towards the back post? 2 Humberland players.
It's a difficult ball to defend from the defenders, though, because it was as its furthest point away from the defenders, closest to the attacker, and then you're facing your goal. You probably don't want to touch of it. I think the goalkeeper has to command that.
But to us, I agree with you with that, but to think that 2 Humberland players could have been there by themselves, I mean, that in by itself is strange, even if you expect the goalkeeper to come across.
I think I think Harrison is possibly going to come out here. They're going to pull him out because he took that one. He went down quite
and that's
was
why
slow
he
in
didn't
getting up. Yeah, he almost in slow motion in going down. So they have to take probably some of the responsibility. They did signal that a change should have been made. They patched him up as best as they could and continued with him and paid the price on that second goal. But Humberland here, they smell, and the doctor getting in the way of Sharp.
The flag is up again, this time at the opposite end.
So
Jason Wright.
From an air of comfort, Molynes, Jermaine Thomas is now up off the bench.
Yeah, 3-goal advantage, and it looked easy. It looked as if Molynes were probably going to add another goal or two.
Are we looking at similar deja vu of what we saw on Monday night?
Yeah. And just like that now, as I said, Humble Lion with the possession, with 2 goals in quick
the
succession.
second balls,
yeah.
Forcing turnover. It's, you know, don't want to sound cliches, but yeah, when they say a game of 2 halves, it really is a game of 2 halves. Literally and figuratively as well.
But even at the start of the second half, Molynes looked better. Molynes
they
were
look
creating
like the
just
team.
the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that 1 goal, and again, I guess they
against
say,
a run of play.
Yeah, but they always say it in football, a goal makes a huge difference.
Well, Molynes, they still have the advantage though, even though it's just 1 goal in it.
And a goalkeeper's change will be made now.
Zandri McLeod is going to come out, is going to come in, and Peter Harrison is going to go out. And you just think that it's that injury that prevented Harrison from getting towards that ball. That second goal that Molynes conceded, and it's a double change. Gordon is taken out as well, and on is Romain Bowers. So McLeod for Harrison, Bowers for Gordon.
Gordon assisted on the first goal from the corner kick. Molynes, they are making a change of their own. The medical doctor you spoke about.
The doc is off.
Yeah, doc is off.
That's James Thomas. And on comes Livingston Walker. James Thomas not involved as much as you'd have liked. Former Da Costa Cup winner with Glenmuir as well was James Thomas. Did captain that team before going away to study in Cuba, study medicine. Livingston Walker is on, will be looking to make a difference early and quickly, because they don't have much time, do Humble Lion. Just over 10 minutes.
And all of a sudden, the back line for Molynes just looks so suspect, not dealing with the balls coming into the box. Yeah, just trying to clear anywhere will do for Molynes at this stage. 10 minutes to go. It's a long time to be in this contest, to be on the edge, on the fringes, to be under pressure.
And we spoke about the fact that a Humble Lion victory at the start of this would have meant that they could have displaced Waterhouse and gone into 7th position, albeit would have to wait on other results. But yeah, temporarily at least they would have gone into that position. But now, maybe more realistically, they'll be seeing if they can salvage a point, which in itself would take them to 19. And yeah, I don't think that would move them anywhere, but it would bring them 1 point further away from Harbourview, who are below them in 11th. Still work to do, but they have the momentum, do Humble Lion.
Lime are trying to make inroads there. Their contest still at 0-0 at half time.
Yeah.
And now we're hearing a lot from Jermaine Thomas. Was very relaxed on the bench and just having some wry smile every now and then. And after that 3rd goal went in, a beautiful goal it was from Jason Wright. And his smile was the widest.
Well, before this season, they had 7 encounters. Humble Lion had won 4, Molynes 3. They had never had a draw. Yeah, on the 5th of November 2023, their first draw in this fixture, 1-1. And I just wonder if this is a sign that
but also
into another draw.
This season as well has suggested that the team that had conceded first has never gone on to win it. But between these two teams, when they've been involved in games, when they've
hence I wasn't suggesting a win.
No, I know. I'm just saying there's another thing as well that maybe it's favouring
the fact that we saw a draw in their first ever draw.
Yes.
And as we have said before this season,
they have
always shared results.
So maybe something will change here.
Humberland has won 1, Molynes have won 1 each season. This time it was a draw. So I just wonder if it's going to stay consistent with that and another draw. Let's see. Molynes will be hoping not.
Really more intense now. Both teams have something to play for. Molynes trying to keep their advantage, and 3 points at the moment.
Here is Sharp again, good at playing the ball inside the area. And Clark, I'm not sure if the left foot was the right idea. Should have probably gone with the right. He favors the left and didn't make a touch in the end. McLeod able to collect, but that was a good pass again from Roshane Sharp.
Yeah, there was curl on it, like I said. At its furthest point, it's away from the defender, arriving at the back post for the attacker. So difficult ball to deal with, and with the defenders facing their goals, never easy. And always good. Yeah, lovely again from Wright. Thought he had the runner continued, or the run continued from substitute coming on.
Bowers.
Yeah,
so Bowers is trying to get that forward, didn't get it forward. And
it didn't continue his run.
Right with good skill, but broken up. Anyhow, Humberline with it. Foul. Will be a free kick. Brian brought down.
Got lucky because I don't think that pass was gonna find a Humberland player.
Yeah, offside Cleo Clark, and there was a push in the back as well. I don't think he would have gotten away with that. Yet to score this season, Cleo Clark. 20 goals he scored in the high school season for Garvey Maceo.
And I tell you what, there's not a better game for him to pick to score in than this one at the moment, because it would be not just a consolation or one of those things where you score after your team have comfortably won. They're looking for something from this game at the moment, so it would be a goal of real value here for Humberland.
Bowers. Frankson, he has had a good game. To Bowers, not the best touch from Bowers, yeah. Hasn't really got the momentum of the game yet. Hasn't picked up the pace of the game yet, Bowers.
Yeah, Wright and Frankson has been really good in this one. I think Nelson started well in the opening minutes of the contest.
I think from a Molynes perspective, Wilson has been the standout for me. Tyreek Wilson, their number 20.
Yeah, he's been good as well.
He has an assist. He also...
No, he scored a free kick.
Yeah, he scored a free kick and was involved.
In the third.
Both. Yeah. I think he has really had a good game, Wilson.
Just overran that one there. Walker.
Just under 5 minutes to go, and they're going to be making yet another set of changes. Molynes. Joshua Jackson is going to come on.
Siva Reed.
It's actually Wilson who is going to be coming off, who we just spoke about. So his shift is over. Tyreek Wilson, a good shift. And I think if this scoreline remains the same, he will have a strong argument for player of the game. And I think very good from start to finish for Wilson.
Yeah, scored in the 47th minute, was it?
But even in the second half, very much involved, and had that acrobatic attempt that was just wide. On for him, Joshua Jackson. And Jason Wright, the other player, removed. So Jackson and Reed on. Wright and Wilson, not a bad shift for Wright. Did score again, 5 goals on the season now for Jason Wright, the leading goal scorer. But I still think Wilson overall was a bit better than him today.
Yeah. I have no problems with that because Wilson was. We see confirmation of substitution, but I think Wilson, was really good in the contest. And Clay just can't allow it, can't make it stick.
Here's
for
Frankson.
Humberland.
He's been good too, Frankson, in his new, well, in I would have to say new position at right back, because since the additions to the squad, he's moved out of centre back into the right back position. Javon Brown just steals it. Oh, that's not the best pass though, but it still finds Livingston looking for Brown again. Good work from Brown. Livingston. It's going to go out of play.
Yeah, saving the corner kick there, and then in the end, the free kick given.
Two minutes to go. Jermaine Thomas looking on anxiously. The SportsMax app moment brought to you from the SportsMax app, and it was this moment from Tyreek Wilson. Lovely free kick. That was the second goal. No chance for Briscoe. Beaten for pace was the Humberland number 1. And Wilson opened his account for the season to go with his 2 assists that he has as well. Was involved in the other goals as well was Tyreek Wilson. And all of what could happen for Molynes on the attacking side of things, Wilson was a part of it. And of course, the SportsMax app moment brought to you by the SportsMax app. Do download it today from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And check out the Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League, as well as all other sporting content on your home of champions.
Yeah, 10 minutes was running out here when we last spoke. That Humberland have that time to try and get back into this one. Molynes just trying to manage this game, probably look for a 4th goal that would really kill this one off. Livingston from distance, just sailing over, getting the applause from his teammates. But Coach Thomas just wanting them to get into their defensive organizational shape here. I think Coach Vassal Reynolds will be looking anxiously towards the 4th official. We're getting word that it could be as much as 7 minutes. Harrison was down for a while as well, and the number of substitutions that took place. So, yeah, 7 more minutes. Top of the minute that remains here, a minimum of 7, that is. So Humberland, they will have time to get the equalising goal, but so too Molynes to extend this lead.
The officials indicate minimum 7 minutes to be added to the second half. Score at the moment, Molynes United 3, Humberland 2.
Yellow card coming up for Nelson. Knew what he was doing.
Yeah, usual occurrence for Jeremy Nelson.
You did say in your opening comments about him that quite a useful player, utility player, but at times, you know,
especially when frustration comes in. Now they still have the lead, so maybe might not be guilty of that, but still 6 minutes to go, and just needs to be careful, the 29-year-old. Delivery, it's a bit too shallow, and away by Frankson. Here goes Robinson.
Yeah, just needed a cut back, just needed to cut back a bit more, just went straight to goalkeeper, the substitute goalkeeper here for Molynes. McLeod was grateful to see that one just roll along the turf to him. We're into the second of the 2 minutes, second of 7 minutes rather, to be played here. And Umberland have committed 8 players forward. And that meant that Molynes, they've dropped some 9 players back just to get numbers up. Getting too flat.
Ball into the area. Ooh, just wide. That was a real chance for Humber Lion. Nice delivery from the wide area yet again. Was it Rasheen Sharp who had that glancing header? And McLeod looked concerned. Vassal Reynolds frustrated. Molynes breathe a sigh of relief. Wide to Frankson. Frankson with a long searching ball. Frankson as well would be that other player, Dwight, who is certainly in the run-ins with Wilson, you would think.
Yeah, and the fact that he too, Frankson, had a goal, has a goal in this contest.
Had a first goal,
yeah,
and playing in
really
his new right back role. Yeah,
and has been doing well, and is playing the entire game as well, it looked. So you get the feeling he has a big stake into making a case for himself as player of the game.
Well, you have about 3.5 minutes to make up your mind with that one.
I'm sticking there. I thought you were going to say 3.5 minutes to see if that holds.
Well, if that's what yellow card shown from Andre Farquharson again, and this time it's to McPherson. So McPherson picks up the yellow, joins Jeremy Nelson and Zidane Christie in terms of players booked. Chance again for Humber Lion. Lots of pace behind that delivery. Cleared though.
And that's the thing though, as much as they've come back in the game, this Humber Lion, they have not done well in winning the second ball.
Wilson yeah. And now to Reed. Back to Livingston. Livingston had lost it initially and it was won back by Humber Lion, but here he goes now on the counter. Good pace from Wilson, from Livingston. And there's a deflection. It's out for a corner. Just what Molynes would be asking for.
Yeah, that's
to drive deep into the Humber Lion box. Yeah. And to run the clock some more because they have a corner. And I'm surprised that they're not looking to take this short. There is Jordan Fletcher warming up.
Wasn't in the squad the last time.
Back in the squad from Obey United.
So like I said, if this result the scoreline holds, you're looking at Frankson and Wilson as the 2 main candidates for player of the game.
And now a booking for Bowers this time. Not sure if that was time wasted
or preventing Umberland taking the kick yet.
But it was a corner initially, but here they go again. Bowers.
So just over a minute left to go of the minimum 7. And Umberland need to get the ball at the other end of the pitch. Clear card, deemed to have probably handled the ball. He's saying that his jersey was being tugged. Yellow card coming out to the number 4 there, Henderson. Chandler Henderson for Umberland, the hope provider before Humber Lion having scored the second goal and given them hope that they could get something from this one. But just about seconds away from the minimum, and I think that's going to be it here. Not too long from now, referee Farquharson will signal the end of this one.
Yeah, the 7 minutes have been played. Molynes with the free kick.
Caution issues in minute 90 plus 7.
And that's it. Molynes United have executed their third win of the season.
That's the final whistle, ladies and gentlemen.
Goals from Frankson, Wilson and Jason Wright. Good enough. 3 first half goals. Humber Lion got right back into it with 2 of their own. One from Kareem Bryan and one from Shandal Anderson, who scored his first of the season. But it's the all-blue outfit of Molynes United who put more distance between themselves and the relegation zone. They move up to 14 points, 7 ahead of Treasure Beach, who sit in 13th position in relegation. Breathing room for Molynes, and an important victory for them, 3 in 16. It's disappointment for Vassal Reynolds and company. They fought back well in the second half, but it just wasn't good enough. They suffer yet another defeat. They are 8th of the season. At full time, it's Molynes United 3, Humber Lion 2.
Plus 7 for Humber Lion.
Andre Farquharson, the one in charge of this fixture. The full match highlights: Humber Lion with a header over the top. That was a FIBA Chambers, and then this moment, Sergini Frankson, after just 8 minutes, adding his first of the season, a brave header at the near post from an Enrique Gordon delivery. And Molynes were away. It was a very impressive first half from the Jermaine Thomas coached team. And they continue to come forward. Good work there by Enrique Gordon. A strike from Jason Wright, which was wide of the upright. And then this delivery towards the back post. The heads went up, then the strike from Frankson, who was looking for a second, deflected and over the top. It was all Molynes in the first half. Javon Bryan towards the back post. Came to Jeremy Nelson, cutting inside. Nelson couldn't get it under the bar. This one was certainly under the bar and inside of the upright. What a free kick from Tyreek Wilson. His first of the season to go with his 2 assists. And it was 2-0 to Molynes after just 41 minutes. Wilson was impressive. A real man of the match performance from the Molynes number 20. And then this. Good work from Jason Wright. He had all to do, all on his own. Then the help came from Wilson. This was intelligent from the number 20, slipping it inside. And then that deft touch from Jeremy Nelson. And Jason Wright with his 5th of the season, 1st of the afternoon, and 3rd for Molynes, 3-0. And that was in 2nd minute stoppage time in the first half. They would go into the half with a 3-goal advantage, the captain scoring the 3rd of them. Then Humber Lion coming to life slowly but surely. Roshane Sharp out to Kareem Bryan, his 3rd of the season. Good finish by the Humber Lion number 27. Scored in this fixture on the 5th of November, scored again today on the 28th of January. Good finish. 3-1 at that point. That came in the 68th minute. Just 7 minutes later, and Humber Lion were up to it again. Look at the work from Roshane Sharp, who had 2 assists. Roshane Sharp, a pitch of a delivery towards the back post. Not the best defending from Enrique Gordon, and not the best goalkeeping work from Peter Harrison, who did command his 6-yard area. And Humber Lion made it interesting for the final 20 minutes or so. Anderson is 1st of the season, 3-2 at that point. But unfortunately for the Lions, 3-2 it would remain. 4 shots on target for Molynes from their 11 attempts. They started well, didn't finish the strongest, but got the job done. 3 on target from 6 for Humber Lion. It just took too long for that engine to get going out of first gear. 24 fouls between the two. Molynes very guilty, very aggressive within the middle of the park, and they picked up majority of the yellow cards as well. They had more corners too, double the amount of Humber Lion, and they enjoyed majority of the possession at 53%. Molynes leading in all categories, and especially the important one, 3-2 winners over Humble Lion this season. Excellent work, and Dwight Jeremiah is with our man of the match, none other than their midfielder, Tyreek Wilson.
Tyreek, really good performance from you today, epitomized by that free kick. How much did you love that goal?
Love it a lot, man, 100%, man.
Something you practice a lot?
No, not really practice, just have it.
Have it naturally?
Yeah.
One of the things that stood out to us as well was the intelligence shown in the game. That third goal scored by Molynes probably would not have been scored had you not made that run to create the overload for Jason Wright. Is this a sequence of play that you practice over and over on the training ground?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so what does this 3 points mean for you and Molynes?
It means a lot. Take time, come up on the table.
To get away from the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Good performance from you, and as long as you continue to do that, Molynes will have a chance to do that. Continue on that track. All the best.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, there you have it. Our man of the match, Wilson, really put in a very good performance today, and for them, massive 3 points. It's 3 points that took them away from the relegation zone. 7 points away now from the closest team at the time in that relegation zone. So here we have Jermaine Thomas. It appeared as if it was going to be smooth sailing with all that we saw in that first half, but somehow Molynes found a way to make it very interesting.
I mean, we weren't against complacency. We knew they were going to push numbers forward. They did just that. They overloaded some areas, and when they overloaded, we had less numbers, so I think they got through because of that. We kind of lapsed a little bit in the second half, and we paid for it. But nonetheless, I think we fought, and at this stage of the competition, 3 points is, to me, the most important thing.
Most important for sure. I'm pretty sure I wasn't in the meeting when you were appointed, but I'm pretty sure that the hierarchy would have said to you, get us away from this relegation zone. You're now, with this point, at least looking like 7 points away from the relegation zone. How massive is that?
I mean, very, very huge. That would have been first as it relates to the priority list. But you still want to see us at this level playing and listening and following simple instructions. I think tactically we're a bit indisciplined today. And as a result of that, we conceded those 2 late goals in the second half.
You spoke about the tactical indiscipline, though, but you have to give your team credit. The way they pressed, closed down, didn't allow Molynes to play the press, the counter press, and then the attacking thrust in terms of getting those 3 goals must be pleasing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting 45 minutes, that's really a plus. And I told them half time, hey, that's good. Tap yourselves on the shoulder. But looking forward, I'm thinking that we have been improving, steadily. So it is now for us to kind of build and continue working hard.
New recruits coming in, the youngster that you've worked with, didn't put in an excellent shift, wasn't a bad shift either from your player from McGrath. How pleasing is it? I mean,
at this level, you need to get your better kids playing. And we exposed them. We did from last week. He came on last week, started today. So, I mean, once he continues to play, I'm thinking that this guy's going to be the limit for him.
Well, good result from you, Coach. All the best.
Yeah, man. Thanks much.
Yeah, a bit disappointing that we didn't hear from the Humble Lion camp. And obviously majorly disappointed with the fact that they weren't able to get anything from this game. And you heard Jermaine Thomas there, positive stuff for his team. And he's enjoying the additions he's made, both from a schoolboy perspective and in the transfer window. And it's a big 3 points for his Molynes unit here in the Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League. Match week 16, and Molynes United, they get the job done against Vassal Reynolds Humble Lions. 3-2 the final score.
When we walked into Mount Pleasant Academy, we knew our lives will change.
We did not have to compromise our academic potential for our passion for football.
Mount Pleasant Academy is not just an institution.
It is an environment of fun, healthy rivalry, teamwork, and balance.
It is passion, purpose, and discipline.
Who said you can't have the best?